I believed my life was perfectly in order. My husband Mark and I had shared 9 years of marriage, enjoying a stable home, a cozy house, and a daughter who brought joy to every corner of our days. Yet recently, a restlessness had taken hold of me. I yearned for thrill, for independence, for anything that would shatter the everyday monotony. My old friend Jenna, forever the life of every gathering, re-entered my world and planted seeds of living more daringly. Whenever Mark raised concerns about my late evenings with her, I dismissed his unease with a chuckle, labeling him overly attached. His anxious glances just prompted me to scoff. I was Lisa, the lively one, far from some boring stay-at-home spouse. Things started innocently. A few cocktails alongside Jenna, light-hearted banter with unfamiliar faces at lounges. Then, one evening, spurred on by her encouragement, I stepped over the boundary. An attractive man at a nightclub treated me to drinks, and soon enough, I found myself inside his hotel suite. I convinced myself it was just a single lapse, a confidence Jenna swore to guard. When I returned home, Mark behaved as usual, completely oblivious. But his inquiries grew more pointed, his voice noticeably cooler. I waved them away, giggling whenever he probed if I was concealing anything. "You're acting absurd," I'd reply, brushing off his suspicions. In reality, I had seriously misjudged Mark. He was far from the weak person I assumed. One night, he asked me to sit, his face impossible to read. He pushed his phone toward me, displaying messages exchanged between Jenna and me, arranging that particular club outing. My heart dropped. He had gotten into my cloud storage. How? I had no clue. Photos were there as well, the ones Jenna forwarded, mocking my wild escapade. Mark stayed composed, never raising his voice. He simply stated, "I know exactly what happened, Lisa. This marriage is over." I barely had time to respond before he took his keys and left, leaving me frozen in shock. I dialed him repeatedly, but he ignored every call. Dread flooded me as the full weight of my gamble hit home. Mark had been more than a spouse. He was my companion in every aspect. Our residence, our money, our little girl's tomorrow. I had mocked his possessiveness. Yet he turned out to be correct. Jenna proved no true ally, urging reckless decisions to boost her own sense of superiority. When I confronted her, she merely shrugged. "Not my problem that you were careless enough to get exposed." Her lack of remorse disgusted me. I had permitted her sway to destroy everything I held dear. Mark stayed away that entire night. I soon discovered he had gone to his sibling's home and reached out to an attorney. He had always been thorough. Beyond the messages, he uncovered hotel charges I never imagined he'd trace. He froze our shared bank accounts and transferred his separate funds. Rage consumed me initially, yet it gradually shifted to deep regret. I had been disloyal, and his measured, calculated reaction wounded me far more than any outburst might have. He refused to battle. He had simply ended it. The following days blurred together. Mark initiated divorce proceedings, listing unfaithfulness, backed by proof that left me defenseless. Our daughter Sophie remained with him at his brother's, and facing her felt impossible. How could I possibly tell a 7-year-old that her mother's error had broken our family apart? I pleaded with Mark for a conversation, for any chance to repair things, but he stood resolute. "You mocked my feelings," he told me. "You decided your path." Those words sliced deeper than any fight we ever had. Jenna distanced herself, insisting she refused to be dragged in. Word reached me that she was informing shared acquaintances I had blown things out of proportion, casting herself as blameless. But the real story circulated. Mark had revealed sufficient details among our friends that everyone understood the facts. My standing crumbled, and I carried the burden of every disapproving stare. I had felt so clever, certain my actions would stay hidden, yet Mark's steady resolve stripped everything away. I relocated to a modest flat, surrounded only by remorse. Mark secured full primary custody of Sophie, and I chose not to contest it. Weekend visits left me shattered by her bewilderment and pain. I began counseling, searching for answers about why I sacrificed my family for a fleeting rush. Jenna's role mattered, yet I couldn't shift all blame onto her. The decision to follow, to proceed, to ridicule Mark's cautions that was mine alone. Today, I bear the consequences, squeezed into a tiny rental, enduring a draining job to manage attorney costs. Several months on, I spotted Mark during one of Sophie's school functions. He appeared calm, centered, as though he had rediscovered serenity apart from me. He retained our home, secured his money matters, and had even begun dating again. I offered an apology, but he gave only a brief nod, courteous yet remote. "I wish you discover whatever it is you need, Lisa," he said, then turned and left. The remark pierced because I understood I had forfeited the greatest part of my existence. I used to ridicule his protectiveness, convinced I was beyond reach. But Mark's reply carried no drama or spite. It was quietly absolute. He revealed my deception and departed, forcing me to confront the ruins of my decisions. I'm working to reconstruct, to become a stronger parent, a wiser individual. Still, each day carries the lingering sound of my former amusement, a constant echo reminding me how gravely I misjudged the man I cherished and ultimately lost.